Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike, and this is a Mech Commander 2 playthrough. I had a lot of problems setting up this game to record it correctly and edit it, and it's been a challenge to go through this. So I had three kind of new campaigns that I failed at because the rendering and the recording was not okay. Still, my microphone is pretty crap, that's why I'm gonna lower the audio. But during the movies, I won't be talking at all because they are just blasting away and they are smothering my voice. Therefore, I'll edit those sections and let you hear them, so you can enjoy the full experience. Also, you can notice I'm not a native English speaker. I hope that this will be a decent practice for me to improve my English and keep it in check, and that you can actually enjoy what I'm about to say. We're gonna play in Cover 5 campaign. This campaign is not a vanilla one. I mean, the whole missions are vanilla, but the game itself is tweaked to the AI patch. Therefore, the enemy will be much smarter. Some balance changes might occur, and other things. Let's start and see them. First, the movie.
Massive damage in what looks to be
more fighting could erupt at any moment.
Certainly confusing times. The question of where to place loyalty.
Across the inner sphere, the civil war between the noble houses continues.
Open warfare has divided the Federated Commonwealth in several.
The conflict between House Steiner and House Davion rages on.
New tensions in the Chaos March threaten to again spark fighting between former comrades. Colonel David Renard and his executive officer Major Kelly have peacefully divided the command of their forces on Carver 5. The longtime friends carefully separated their troops into House Steiner and House Davion military containment zones. Colonel Renard had this to say about the Davion withdrawal.
We needed time to regroup, to look at ourselves, ask who we were. Where did our loyalties truly lie? For me, and the brave men and women under my command, the answer was clear. They were with Archon Katrina Steiner. They weren't with any rebels. But I am here to tell you, the first shot will not be fired by anyone under my command.
This was the scene on Carver 5 just 2 days ago. In a series of daring raids, a bandit army consisting of tanks and light battle mechs seized several Steiner outposts, stealing supplies and capturing several weapon facilities.
Archon Katrina Steiner was quick to rule out the deployment of additional troops to deal with the bandit threat.
Sending additional Steiner forces to Carver 5 will give the Davion rebels another excuse to bathe a peaceful planet in blood. An alternative solution must be found.
Nerves are certainly frayed in the Steiner territory.
Refugees continue to stream from the planet.
Still more bandit attacks.
The mercenaries are due to arrive shortly, ending weeks of speculation.
I'll ask you again. Was it smart for the Archon to hire mercenaries to deal with the bandit army on Carver 5?
Of course it was smart. It was the best thing she could have done. Think about it. Mercenaries don't care about sides or politics. They care about getting paid. All of the great houses use them. Liao, Karita, Merrick, even your precious Davians use them. That's why the Davian commander has agreed to this solution. Kelly knows that once the bandits are dealt with, the mercenaries will pull out.
Looks like we're already famous, Commander. They think we won't be staying long, but based on the supplies you ordered, I'd say you've got other plans.
Okay then. Now I have, as you see, two things happening. Every time the cutscene goes out or the mission goes out, I have to start recording again. You don't know the press little button. But that's a problem that I can fix and I can deal with that because if I stay with the smooth transitions, I'll have problems with the scenes and render. Because the game is at a bit higher aspect ratio and the resolution than the main menu, and that's a bit of a problem with the game itself, and I cannot fix that in vanilla. I think after this one I might try the famous Omnitech stuff. But first, let's do a playthrough with this one.
Good.
I'm expecting machine gun armed infantry to come after I destroy this thing. They are coming, I think, now. First centipede. As you can see, the centipede now is much faster than before. Before they used to crawl, now they are running at full speed. As you can see, they are a bit harder to aim at. Not just by my pilots, but also by my own mouse pointing. It's a bit harder to get them all. Also, the short range, long range and medium range are a bit extended on the map, therefore zooming out and having this kind of view is way preferable than going zoom in. So let's go here and try to surprise these vehicles. You might see that the vehicles are now a bit harder to kill. Well, they're at least doing some other stuff than just staying stationary. Especially with the smaller things like centipedes. As you can see here, they are blazing away through the map and trying to be as evasive as they can. And that's good, because we want that. Actually, to be honest with you, it's a bad thing that the developers haven't introduced the initial AI tweaks like the modders did. Luckily for all of us, the game is free. You can find it on a Banderware site, and after that you can patch it in with the AI tweaks. I'll link the AI tweaks in the description down below. After you do the installation, patching, and maybe even copying data files again from your vanilla stuff, you'll have the option to play the game. Also, you need the CD emulator like Demon Tool or something similar that you trust and you think you can run properly. And that will mount the old Mech Commander CD. Now with the new tweaks that you can see here, the enemy knows where we are because they now have sensors and they can react based on them. Though their sensors are a bit smaller range than the scout mechs, they can still spot you. And of course, as you can see, the Urban Mech is running at us. Believe it or not, this is his running speed. And they are trying to close up the gap. They may also switch the target because before you had an option. Once you lure the enemy, they don't switch targets, and now as you can see they switch it pretty rapidly. And based on their opportunities or what AI tells them to do. And that's very good. That's very, very good, because one time in the previous campaigns that failed to record properly, I had a situation where I had to pull out my scout mech and my medium mech pilot got killed, a veteran medium pilot. And that's a bit of a bummer. Also, after this one you can numpad lock and use that numpad and numpad 8 as default button to aim for a headshot. Aiming for a headshot in this game will prove to be useful because you can salvage an enemy mech by getting the enemy pilot knocked off, and with that you can salvage most of the stuff on it without getting the whole mech destroyed. And if you have resources, you can call in the support aircraft that will just place your pilot that's available in your garage, actually in your mech bay, to replace the enemy pilot place and get you a free mech. With a bit of repairs on the repair truck, everything will end up just fine. Of course, I'm playing on regular difficulty, believe it or not. The increase in difficulty will only increase the health points, I think, of the enemy. Therefore, not properly balanced in my opinion. So keep that in mind. Also, when you spot the enemy vehicles on this game, take a note. Once we get here, these are the enemy vehicles because they don't have any radar. If they had any radar, then those are not enemy vehicles. Those are mechs. As you can see over here, the enemy mechs just appeared. I'm gonna try to lure him out because I don't want to get shot by an enemy mech, a couple of harassers, and a bunch of LRM carriers. That will be stupid. So keep this in mind to use a lot of hit and run tactics in this game. You don't want a quote-unquote fair fight. You want to avoid that kind of fair fight. You don't want to exchange damage constantly. You want to preserve the amount of HP you have. You want to preserve the amount of mechs you have available for a fight, especially if they are undamaged. Now I'm gonna get some shots by the enemy LRM, and for some strange reason they haven't done any damage at all. So let's go and kill the pilot of the Star Slayer. This is how we're gonna go. And he's basically liking my light mech. Yep, he got a bit of a liking to it. But luckily for us, one of the shots was critical and the enemy mech is down. As you can see here, his cockpit has been blown off. And we can add some of our new pilots. So let's all focus here. Repair ourselves and continue with the cleanup of the rest of the enemies. And this is the best way to get the mechs in your lance, because you need to preserve money as much as you can. And the costs of some of the mechs are just incredible. I remember, massive spoiler ahead, there are 2 mechs that are very hard to obtain for Dawn, and you will have to essentially try to pilot snipe them or destroy them by not fully destroying the mech. And after you do that, you'll go for the buying of the mech on the salvage menu. That goes after the mission. Let's just clean up these LRMs, and that will be all they wrote. Yep, basically that's all for them. Let's go and extract ourselves. We're gonna go over here on the extraction marker. And that will be for today, I think, after we extract, because I'm thinking to make it episode by episode, basically mission by mission, and that will be good. Way better for you to follow the timeline, or if you're interested in certain missions rather than the bots themselves. So let's look at the salvage, if there is any. Well, nothing for a salvage, but we have a new regular pilot that got promoted. This is a part of a quote-unquote tutorial, I think, except for the regular tutorial. Let's go with sensor specialization for this guy. Actually, girl. Her name is Flash. Codename Flash. I don't know what the name. Let's go forward and see the others. So we have the kill score here. The higher the kill score, the better the experience points will be added to your experience pool. Especially if your pilot needs to kill a lot of enemy mechs, then he will get a lot of experience points. So let's see, we have campaign ribbon for participation, pull per hut, that's good. Proceed. And that will be for the first part. For the next part, we're gonna go through the modifications, mech bay, pilots, skills, and the mission based Gemini. I'll see you on next part. Bye bye.